Yes. Everybody, okay, call it. Yep. I know. Hey, I gotta talk to you about something. About something right now. Look at this. Tokens. So you're going to get your NFTs, right? You got to get your NFTs. Get your NFTs. Okay, now listen. So you got your token. You got your phone device here. Where's your NFTs? What is this? I gotta talk to you about this. It's called the Kin Token. You need to get the Kin Token, folks. Kin Token. NFTs, right? 3 hours each. Folks. Kin Tokes. Well, howdy, folks. Me and my little buddy here don't want y'all to get caught up in the rat race. So you're gonna get your Kin Tokens early. You're gonna wait for that airdrop until the membership sells out. Now you could take that to the bank. You could take that to the decentralized blockchain technologies, buddy.
Alrighty there, okay.
It's the freaking Kin Token, folks. Get the Kin Token. It's the Kin Token, folks. Kin Token. Get the Kin Token, folks. You need to get the Kin Token. Get the Kin Token before it's too late. It's like he's like I get it, like Ken's token. He's like Ken, because he's like token. Ken's token.
And we're live, bros. Good
Hey,
morning.
what's up?
Breakfast of
How are
Champions
you?
here.
Oh, you're gonna see what Ken is doing is called a dab, ladies and gentlemen. If you're not familiar with that, he's balled up a bunch of lint really tightly, and he's putting it in there. And he's smoking basically the fibers of his couch.
But this is good for your bones. Fiber strong and all that.
Yeah, it's definitely legal in all states.
Yes. Wow. All right, I'm ready. Wow.
How are you? It's been a few days.
My mouth is on fire. I had all of my teeth replaced.
Yes. How do they do that? Are these veneers, or do they actually rip out your fangs and put in new teeth? Oh wait.
Yeah, how about you guys talk?
First time.
Ken is the best.
That's a good one. That's a good one. Well,
Damn.
we have guests. While he's coughing, I guess that we can all just talk. We have 3 illustrious guests, very well known in this space, in the waxmosphere. Is that it? No, atmosphere, waxmosphere.
The atmosphere? I mean, it doesn't roll off the tongue, but it's technically accurate.
Yeah, it's kind of clunky. I don't know. But I digress. Ken?
Yeah,
You're Ken Bozak. Okay. I just wanted to.
We killed Ken, everybody. We killed Ken.
It was the first
We killed
time
Kenny!
The show is too big.
But we have our guest, Martin Bill Shipple's Corey, which if you don't know Corey, I mean, get with the program. He's been here for a while. And Jen. And
Hello.
how's everybody doing? Yes, DJen. Everybody knows that these 3 people are huge in the uplift space. And I guess we're here to talk about a lot of the interesting things that we have going on there. I know there's a lot.
So much
Yeah,
stuff.
let's cut the Shipple.
Cut the bullshit, bull.
Now. Hey, now.
That's good.
So yeah, I guess let's start at the beginning, finish at the end. That way everybody knows what we're talking about. But like, what the hell is Shipple? Where does it come from? Where does it go? What is Shipple, Cotton Eye Joe?
Well, we have the grandfather of Shipple with us here today. Right, Cor? So I tell the story of how Shipple started a lot. I haven't heard Corey's version for a long time. about this joke that he tried to make and totally failed at making a joke because it turned into something real.
I don't know, like,
Well, I do want to
joke.
interrupt for 1 second, let people know if you're watching now. Me and Corey did a video together a little over a year ago where we talked about Shipple and other things like Dust and Nifty Wizards and all that. So if you type in like Not Another Bitcoin Podcast, Corey, Contrell, Ken Bozek, whatever, it should just pop up and you can, listen to that over a year ago. And you can see where like the projects that we talked about have come and gone since then, which is, what I like to say is listen to what somebody said a year ago and then listen to them today. And in that case, Corey, for today, go ahead.
Yeah, right? I mean, like, that. Were we even talking about the uplift yet? Maybe.
No,
just
we
barely.
weren't yet. Yeah, it was still an idea.
Wow.
It was all a concept. It was like what ifs.
Wow.
That's nuts.
Well, we did it.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm doing it. Yeah, so Shipple was, I had just learned after many, many weeks, embarrassingly long weeks, of figuring out how to deploy the EOS.io code. I figured out how to mint my own token. Like that was, I just wanted to figure out if I could actually do that. Like we're living in this world now where, a guitar player can figure out how to do it by reading the internet. And I figured out how to do it. And then I went to a crypto group that we were all in Facebook. And I basically said, like, we all, make jokes about Ripple all the time. If I get, 200 shares and likes on this Facebook post by tomorrow morning, then, I'll make a coin that's called Shipple, which is halfway between a shitcoin and Ripple. And there was like 1,000 by the next day. It got, a little bit of attention. And so I said, okay, like, I'm going to make this token. This is going to happen. Anybody who wants some, come into this channel and be among the first 1,000 people that are in this Facebook group that we're going to set up, right? And we'll give everybody 1 million Shipple each the second we hit 1,000. And so we did. And, then we just started making memes and having a blast, and it was completely, totally hilarious and a lot of fun. And then, EOS kind of dumped the CPU problems were rampant. And like 97% of the holders of Shipple in the beginning were all no coiners. Like this was like their first experience with it.
Right.
So you needed like a PhD to get more CPU on EOS back then. So it just died, right? It completely and totally died. Over the crypto winter, it got really, really quiet. And then like I knew eventually we're gonna figure out something that we could do with it. And of course, we started the Uplift World this year. It started building stuff on Wax. Like we're all kind of on Wax, building stuff left, right, and center. And so I finally went back to Bullshipple, and like I was trying to get him into NFTs for months. He kept ignoring me. Right?
Like that's stupid. Why would anybody do that? That's crazy.
Right? Like JPEGs? Were you stupid? Like, and now granted, like he was playing with Tron and like a little distracted for good reasons, I think. So that was fun. 2,000%
here and there between friends. No big deal. Whatever.
Right? Yeah, he did well. So anyway, we finally, got him over to Wax, and we're showing him that stuff, and he whaled into the Uplift. We've kind of been tossing ideas back and forth, and I like Shipple's just sitting over there on EOS doing nothing. I'm like, well, what if we just forked it over there? But I'm gonna have to give the entire thing to the community. Like I'm just gonna take all the keys to all the stuff, and I'll just give it to you guys because without you guys, it's literally going to do nothing. I don't have time. I can't do it. Right? I just don't have the bandwidth. So I did. I just gave it to them. And said, listen, like, go be free, make it like the highest order thing you could possibly do. And really, like the first use case for Shipple when we actually, minted the tokens out was people, basically saying, listen, I'll give you some shill if you do something good in the world. Like literally, like give me a receipt for a charitable giving that you did. We don't care what it is or who it was for. And that was like actually the first ways that people actually got their hands on Shipple. And what they're doing now is, and I'd love for you guys to speak on this because you're, a lot more sort of in it than I am now. But they're taking that basic idea and tokenizing the shit out of it, right? And so like that's going to be the cultural sort of meme coin evolution for what Shipple's going to become. And then of course, like they've got Shippletopia, which you need to see it. It's absolutely fucked up. Like the stuff they built in Chicken Caw for Shippletopia is like significantly better than any other single build in the Uplift.
Okay, all right.
It's insane, right?
Building
and then
it
of course
in the Minecraft ecosystem, right?
Yeah, it's in the Uplift, inside the Uplift.
Yeah, I just wanted to let people know that Uplift it utilizes the Minecraft like ecosystem or environment.
Yeah.
I know, like, when we say uplift, we know, but a lot of times people are new to it and they don't understand. It's as simple as playing Minecraft to get into the metaverse that is uplift.
Yeah. Yeah, just go to theuplift.world. You'll be able to see a bunch of stuff. Our cool video that that guy made with his team.
Well, I was wondering if Jennifer wanted to jump in and let us know a little bit about like what we could see as far as utility go for that token in the ecosystem that is Shippletopia.
In Shippletopia, you should be soon able to wander around and earn player rewards of Shipple.
And then you can just like earn it?
Yeah, you can go play in Shippletopia. Go do a race, hang out at the Rave Cave, watch a show, listen to a show. Take your friends, do all the cool things, look for all of the hidden Easter eggs because I swear they're everywhere and I only know about a tiny, tiny fraction of them. And go play, have fun, and yeah, there'll be some Shipple.
So what do we do once we find like an egg and get some Shipple? Is there utility? Like, can I use Shipple for anything?
Yeah. I figured out how to, well, okay, so this week I put some Shipple in a liquidity pool with Blue. I also put some Ken in a liquidity pool with Blue.
Thank you.
And harvested some Blue and took it to the exchange and traded it back for those coins and then traded it back into wax because, you know, trade it around, play with it. And then I traded the wax for something else and the something else for a gift card and got myself a couple things off Amazon that I needed. So that's one use. I can do that. I can also take my Shipple and trade it a bunch of times, eventually end up with some real world money and then, I don't know, help people. I was able to, on my own, I donated a crap ton of money to our local wildlife rescue because they took in a baby bird that was trying to kill itself on our driveway.
Oh.
And it survived. It's doing real well. It was released a couple weeks ago with a flock. It's happy, I assume. Yeah, so you can take your Shipple and donate it. You can take your Shipple and give it to the Shipple Gives wallet, and we will donate it. You can stake your Shipple in a whole bunch of LPs. There's some on the bullshipples.io website that are scoreboarded.
Yep.
There are some with most of the Blue DAC partners.
This is where I think the term GameFi is going to be really coming from. Gamified DeFi, like you play, you earn, you provide the liquidity, you stake. It's compound gaming.
It really is, and I mean we can take it a little bit further.
Compound gaming is the name of my new country band.
It's a good name.
I like that.
It actually makes sense for country band. I like totally see the album cover now. That's awesome. Sorry, I'm such a segue.
That's all good. All good.
I digress a lot.
With all of these country band names, though, Corey, you really have to actually do some country.
Can we get a band already?
No.
I think she just called you out, yo.
A country band that only does pop.
That's your new NFT series.
But we
band.
identify as a country band, damn it.
Yeah, I'm all for that. Anyhow, so there's a Shipple Ken token LP.
Oh man!
And right here I am, saying that I will give some people some Shipple NFTs if they're contributing to it by, let's say...
And that's the great gamification of GameFi as well, because community gamified finance, where people can see all the wallets that are providing liquidity. They have nothing to do with the project. They could just be a member of it and go, I just want to give to all of my bros. And there's an actual list of all of them, a transparent list of all the people that if you wanted to give back to your community, well, there's a direct spam mail. Like you can send an NFT to all the people in your community. So if you're providing liquidity to like Ken or Shipple or Blue, these are like, joining a whitelist for things to come that project management has nothing to do with. And that's the thing I love the most is like the rewards that the communities kind of give each other.
Yes. Well, and that's just it. So let's say today's Tuesday? How about by Thursday, midnight Eastern, whoever is in the Ken Chill liquidity pool, I'm going to take myself a screenshot and send you some prizes to be determined because I totally didn't plan this. Let's go.
And you'll see your name on a scoreboard at Bullshipples.io. Just saying. You're going to see your name on scoreboard.
So it's
That's what
I love
That's why I'm
that.
starting to get really excited for community tools.
It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, I want
once we
that.
launch that for Blue Dash, any project is going to be able to incentivize
Do that.
any LP with any token they want.
Yep.
Good.
I love this. I really think this is a great Shipple. A joke. Wait, what'd you say before we went on air? It was a joke token.
Yeah, Corey totally
it was
failed.
supposed to be a joke. And it
He
was
tried
for
to make a
minute.
joke. Yeah. It's not a joke anymore.
It's not.
I've always said you're bad at telling jokes. How about that?
I mean, that's a fact. I'm inherently bad. Instead of making a joke, we made like a multi-million-dollar market cap token.
I know.
Well,
It's insane.
look at Jackson Palmer and Doge. You know, like how do you think he says it all the time? Like it was a fucking joke. I don't even.
Yeah,
he's
dude.
the creator, and he's like, I don't own any because it was a joke.
Yeah, crypto's the only industry where you actually have a history of people that are just having fun, like starting really successful movements.
That was pretty much
like
Satoshi. Satoshi was just like, yo, check this out. I got like 12 pages. Here's some fun nonsense, you know? He was basically like a dungeon master for Dungeons and Dragons, but for finance.
Yeah, here's internet fun money. Play with it, you know?
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
$1 trillion later.
Yeah, it's insane.
Good accidents happen, you know?
That's true.
And that's Shipple. And so I'm curious, what kind of community is being like built around this utilitarian wise, right? So like, do you see like your community using this amongst each other outside of what the team is utilizing it for? And if so, how?
So Jen, would you mind sharing the way that we used it on EOS back 2 or 3 years ago? And then I would love to share a little bit about the gamified generosity and how that has evolved to today.
Yeah,
All right,
that
guys,
sounds good.
I gotta jump out. I got another meeting I gotta go to. I love all of you guys. Thanks for letting me dive bomb into your life. Ken, tomorrow, you, me, Blue, and Bullshipples, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Gonna be baller. That's all.
Have
Love
a
you.
day.
Love you. That sounds
All right.
exciting.
So, Shipple, in the way back when Corey he didn't exactly drag me into it. He made it look fun. And I thought, well, if I have nothing to lose, because it's supposed to be this joke, and it probably isn't, but let's give it a try. Maybe I could have some fun with this and learn something. And so I did. And people would make memes, people would do good, and you get wind of somebody doing good or making a meme that you like or content that's decent, then you send them some Shipple. And it could be as little as you want, as much as you want, whatever you have. But then they send somebody else some Shipple for similar reasons.
Right.
Oh, you did a thing. I like that thing you did. I want to recognize that. Here, have some Shipple. And there were tons and tons of transactions of, I recognize you did a thing that was good, have some Shipple. So it kind of started that way, and it moved forward, and we were brainstorming a bit, how do we make it better? How do we take that foundation of you did something good, here, have some Shipple, and put that into some real world good that has the potential to explode all over the place.
Right. I mean, this is similar
That's what
to...
Jen said. Just saying.
You know it.
I see what you did there, and I like it.
I get it. I like it.
Totally matches the show's vibe. I love it. It sounds similar to how people, when they find like their favorite, mom and pop store in their neighborhood, and one of their neighbors does something like, hooks them up by cutting their lawn because they were cutting their lawn at the same time. So they just like walked 5 feet over and cut yours too. What do?
Yeah.
You introduce them to your new favorite store with a gift card of some sort. And I feel like these social tokens are sort of filling that void because we as a community in the real world have moved to a virtual world. So instead of giving a physical gift card to a physical brick and mortar, which is almost a burden of a gift at this point, we're using virtual, gifts now. Most of the time, I think you can even like pay on Facebook now to send somebody like flowers or something, like emojis. It's like
nice.
Yeah, you can like pay for emojis, and it's just like a birthday card, right? It's like, wow, you spent $20 on a Hallmark, like you spent $20 on an emoji. It's the same thing now. It hits about the same, even though it's non-tangible. So I think social. We're going to see a lot of social tokens, exploding throughout the next like year or two. I see like 2022 being like the year of social tokens, community tokens, and like how Pepsi and McDonald's and all these like Burger King are doing NFTs now. I don't think Burger King's far from having their own community token as well.
You can have it your way. Just saying.
Well, as long as I have my private keys, then that's my way, right?
Right. Well, and what Jen was referring to, as far as those initial belief systems really that developed, because yes, we had utility, yes, we had transactions, but what happened with shared experience is, like any good cult, right? You end up with a shared belief system, and the Shipple cult is kind of a joke that has evolved over time, because what happened was this community gathered around, and the community gathered around a shared belief that really was built on shared experience. And it's that people love to give because it's fun. When you get to give something to somebody, it warms your heart. Yes, people love to receive, and receiving a gift is cool too. But what people really got amped on was that we love to give, because that paired with another belief that creators deserve to be rewarded. When you create something that brings a smile to somebody's face, that brightens somebody's world, that is the high point of their day, like you created that, you deserve to be rewarded. What if you could be rewarded by the person whose day you brightened, where it's a direct thank you for you changing their life in that small way, in that small moment? And with crypto and the ability to just tip each other back and forth for free, basically, it provides an opportunity to say thank you to somebody you don't even know. And one of the ways that we were able to accomplish that was memes are life, right? They're so fun. I love memes. But even more than just the experience that they give to me personally, what I can see in a community is that when people are communicating and creating and interacting with one another, it's symptomatic. It's symptomatic of the deeper life and the strength and the power of that community. And so what we encourage people to do is, brand it, put gamify generosity hashtag, or, back 2 or 3 years ago, that concept didn't even exist yet. And so whatever the theme was for the day, for the contest, put the theme on there, put your identity on there, sign your meme with your wallet so that people can send you thank yous. And all of a sudden, it wasn't just, the project management or the leaders of the community that were having to dole out all the token to all of the community members. The community members had the power, right? And the community members were able to just share and give to each other as a thank you for what was created. In seeing this, what we learned and the belief that we came to was that people love to give. People want to be generous. And so with Shipple, what we've now evolved to with Gamify Generosity, which is our hashtag, that's really our purpose statement, is because we believe that people want to give and want to be generous because of the experience that does for them, and because they want to see their world changed. We are going to help facilitate that. We're going to help organize that. We're going to create opportunity for people to be able to give in a way that changes the world outside their front door. So, Ken, you asked about the utility of the token. One of the things that you can do with it right now is, share it back and forth. We're bringing back that, meme contest idea where not only is the Shipple charity going to give people, rewards and prizes for putting the memes on the wall, but allows the community to begin to interact in that same way that we all loved to do 2 and 3 years ago. But then one of the things that has made this next step possible is all the third-party community tools, the infrastructure that's being built around us, what Nefty has done with our Super Blender, being able to do a Shipple token pack release where people open a pack and actually receive token into their wallet. That's crazy, right? And then Nefty is building out a site where people will actually be able to buy NFTs with Shipple, or with Ken token,
right,
or with Liftium, right? And so these tools that we dreamed of, or maybe didn't even know could exist 2 or 3 years ago, are now being created all around us. And what we have the opportunity to do now is to utilize these tools to continue to evolve that utility of the community. Because if you can buy an NFT with Shipple, we're going to have a merch line. We're in the process of designing and building the rocket launch pad coaster with the emoji rocket coffee mug that'll go on top of it on your desk. If you can start to receive real world items with an Amazon gift card like Jen just experienced, all of a sudden there's real use case. But then the other belief that we have is that yes, people want to give and they want to be generous, but to give and to be able to be generous, you have to have something of value. And so one of our other belief systems is that in community, there's power. And if we can give something of value to people and then help that value increase, people will have something of value that they can have more power in what they're generous with. And so one of the things that we're doing with Blue DAC, we're so excited about that because it creates liquidity. It basically takes all these game tokens and turns them into real world money in a liquid way, where all of a sudden it's not just a joke, it's not just a game token. You can take your Ken and turn it into a coffee at Starbucks.
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy, right? It's crazy. But you can do it utilizing Blue DAC and all the liquidity that it provides. And you don't even have to take what you have. You get some rewards.
Yep.
You take those and you go get a coffee at Starbucks. Like, that's insane to me that we're creating value. And it's not we, it's not you, it's us. It's the
Yes.
collective community coming together, because in community there's power. And what Blue DAC does is it integrates and therefore exponentially multiplies that power, because it's not just 22 communities that have gathered together. Then there's another 10, then there's another chain, then there's a rocket to, we'll talk about it tomorrow, but there's some incredible things happening that will take all of these connections and exponentially multiply the power of that. I rambled too long. Sorry about that. I got excited.
No, please do go on. But I typed out because I didn't want to interrupt you and I didn't want to forget. You made me think like of a term that I don't think has been used before. So, atomic utility. You know, where instead of having to atomic swap a token, it has the same utility, like ubiquitous or liquid everywhere, right? So my community, if I'm doing an NFT sale, I will accept Shipple. I will accept that, as well as Ken, as well as Nefty, and as well as Wax or other communities that I am in, their tokens for my NFTs. And I'm sure as well as the likewise and likewise. So it'll have this atomic utility throughout that community. You know, if you don't have to trade your Shipple for Ken if you want to get an NFT from people in that community, because odds are they'll be accepting that and Wax or whatever else, Nefty, but you'll be able to have like this atomic utility across the board. And that's sort of what, you know, businesses have started to do with these digital rewards plans and loyalty plans, right? You know, you're shopping at Rite Aid or some pharmacy, you get a discount at, you know, Walmart or Burger King. That's because the brands partnered up and said, hey, your loyalty points are good at my business, and I'll accept your loyalty points at mine, and it will help both of our customers be happy. It benefits everybody. Nobody loses here. And I just think that having that power as communities to do what corporations are doing, that's true paradigm shifting, like potential and tools.
One of the things that we've seen in the wax space, especially in new projects and some of the smaller projects that have less liquidity, is there's always another new project that everybody's FOMOing into, right? And what we've seen is that to get into that new thing that everybody's FOMOing into, most people have to sell whatever they have, and it's usually illiquid, and so they sell at a loss to be able to get into the next thing. And it hurts the people, the community members that are trying to support and participate in these activities. What liquidity does, what connected communities do, and I experienced this yesterday. So, you know, there's an invention at our planet and you can create a big bang on a game, and I want to do that, and I have a bunch of blue and I need a bunch of Aether. I can take blue, turn it into Aether, play the game. I don't have to sell all my stuff at a loss to be able to FOMO into the next thing that just popped up one day. I can just participate in that community. And then I can take my Aether and turn it into blue and Shipple and Ken and participate in that community. So what that connection does and what that liquidity does is it makes it possible for community members to participate in every part of the community without that constant sell everything you have at a loss, have a little bit to FOMO into the next thing to try to make it big enough that you can sell it all at a loss to get into the next thing. It provides the stability and allows people to participate in a very liquid way in whatever they want to across the board, back and forth. And I see that as very powerful.
Speaking of community given utility, Smart Digital Payments just super chat $5. Thank you so much for the super chat, bro. I really appreciate it. Said, we believe Smart Digital Payments accepts Ken, Blue, and Lithium. So yeah, I mean, that's pretty badass, bro. Thank you so much. But that's the power of community right there. You know, Mike is a part of the community. He has a business, Smart Digital Payments, where people could use crypto at their stores, right? If you have a small business, you want to accept crypto, you can work with Smart Digital Payments, and now you can use Ken, you know, at your business. So if you're in the community and you have a business and you have Ken, by all means, you have every incentive to provide utility to it, right? So start accepting, you know, Ken, Blue, and Lithium at your mom and pop shops with Smart Digital Payments. Thanks for the super chat, Mike. I really appreciate that.
Love you.
Yeah, man. I really feel like there's a lot of power in this, and I don't know, you know, what the tokenomics are for Shipple. You know, is there like a, if you want to jump into that a little bit for, you know, just for the sake of it, like the token supply, circulating supply, total cap burn rates, anything like that that we can touch on just for like, you know, the metrics?
Yeah, would love to. So, you know, like Corey mentioned, back 3 years ago, we started, he created on a dare, and I was in that group that dared him to create that token.
So great.
Isn't that so fun, right?
I love it.
Well, and you should have seen our first logo. Like the first meme was like fist in the air and F the banks and you know, this is horrible.
That's
and so you know, have this, right?
It's
so bad.
cringe.
Well, and what we had
in this space, though. It's so
what
real.
we had was so much tribalism and there was so much negativity, right? Everybody was like, my token's the best and yours is horrible. And so everyone come buy my token, right? What we have evolved to is a complete about face, where instead of having tribalism with tribes against each other, what we've realized is if the tribes connect and create accessibility, for instance, what we believe is that everybody may want to participate in gamifying generosity. So if we can build connections and allow accessibility for everyone to gamify generosity, I know that our community will want to participate in what I've seen that's coming with Ken and with Blue and with, you know, so there's all these different things that people want to be involved in more than one thing. And so with that connection, it allows exponential power. Instead of one tribe against the other, we actually see the tribes coming together and moving forward together. But as far as the tokenomics of it, so Corey created the token. We ended up, we started with 105 billion Shipple on EOS. And then what we did with, we did a Wax fork where we created an equal amount of the token on Wax. And anyone that had token on EOS that wanted to transfer that amount over to Wax, we actually had a 30-day application window and a sign up, and anybody could receive an airdrop of an equal amount over on Wax of what they had on EOS. And so there is a equal amount that currently exists on both EOS and Wax. And so our total supply would technically be 210 billion currently. And so that EOS really, we're not currently active with it. We don't have much utility or use case over on the EOS side. But with Blue DAC, spoiler, going back, launching a rocket toward EOS and launching Blue DAC on EOS here at some point, all of our Shipple OG holders holding EOS Shipple are going to have some token to pair with their Blue to go into that platform, which is going to be pretty awesome. On the Wax side, that's where we're really focused, building out Shippletopia. And I would love to, we had a grand opening here a couple days ago. I'd love to hear Jen talk more about that. But on the tokenomics of the burn, we have a few things that will be released in our next token pack drop called Shipple Power and Shipple Fuel, where people will actually be using their Shipple for voting governance, because we want to set up a voting system where people can vote on memes, people can vote on build contests, and then people will be able to vote for charity to decide where the Shipple charity distributes the token to the nonprofits that are nominated by community members in local communities. And so people will be able to use their token, not just to earn rewards, not just to buy NFTs, not just to buy merch, not just to vote, but to actually give and donate to local nonprofits in their local community. The Shipple charity will be set up global local because we believe that there are nonprofits locally to all of our community members all over the world. And so we want to allow people to not only individually take care of the nonprofit outside their front door, but to integrate their community into exponentially leveraging the power of helping that nonprofit outside their front door.
Okay, I want to let Nathan take over here with Jennifer to talk about Shippletopia in the Uplift world there in Minecraft. Because the graphics...
Yeah, Jimmy and I covered it a little
How
yesterday.
high are your graphics set right now? Like the water, the reflection in the water. I've never seen Minecraft look like that. Is that real?
It's dope. Yeah, Jimmy and I talked about it a little bit yesterday. Shippletopia is crazy. There's an amazing abundance of like wild structures and interesting Easter eggs to kind of search for, as we talked about earlier. Is there anything that's specific? Like Ken said, the resolution on the image seems so high behind you. Everything seems so high quality. Is there anything that you're excited about introducing, or anything that Uplift maybe is working on that you guys are going to utilize that you're excited about?
Well, there are a few things. There are probably a lot of few things. There's going to be, we have a race coming up. We're waffling a little bit on the time because the servers are down for maintenance. So when that maintenance window ends, then we pick a time for the first race. The race is fun.
What kind of race is it? Like a foot race?
No, it's a roller coaster race.
Oh,
but like with jumps, and you have to throw snowballs, and you can knock people off their carts with the snowballs. And it's more than just a race. You can influence not only your own race time, but the time of others. So if we're racing beside each other and I start pelting you with snowballs, you'll get knocked off your cart.
Oh,
yeah,
so is this like Mario Kart?
It's the ultimate utility.
Oh, kinda. There is a rainbow road.
Sounds like it.
Wow. Okay, that's what I was hoping. I was literally just about to say, well, I hope there's a rainbow road.
Oh, is there? Yes, there is, definitely.
Now, is this in Shippletopia?
This is in Shippletopia, and it is not a short race. You budget some time, have some fun, and bring snowballs and all your friends.
How long
because
does
it's
it
more
take
fun with friends.
To build this Topia?
Months.
It's
Yeah.
Been building it about
impressive.
6 months. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, about that.
It's one of the most amazing things that you'll ever see in Uplift, by far.
So this is, I remember when I was talking to Corey, not too far back about this, the difference between, Uplift and Minecraft, what you're utilizing versus things like Decentraland and crypto voxels is centralization. When I hear you spend 6 months on there, it just makes my heart drop, because I'm like, wow, like you don't have the keys to any of that really. Like it's all kind of like on Minecraft, side of things. So I'm wondering, like, how do you feel about that? Is like, have you considered like the what could go wrong of things because it is kind of reliant on Minecraft in a sense?
Yes, one of the things that we're pretty excited about is, I don't know if you've seen the movie Ready Player One. I'm sure you have. And I love that first 3 minutes of that movie, because what it does is it actually walks you through the evolving tech progression of what I see and I believe is our future. And so there's a zoom shot where they take you into the Oasis, right? And so you're flying through this digital environment that starts in Minecraft and then goes to layer 2 and then layer 3 into just an immersive experience where it's anything you want to be, and everything's 3D. There's artifacts that are NFTs, there's coin, which is crypto. There's so much that just directly correlates to what we're doing. One of the goals with Minecraft was to have an out-of-the-box experience, off the shelf, where anyone, even if you aren't one of the 105 million people currently playing Minecraft, anyone could just take that experience, plug in, and start earning crypto rewards easily. That's the first one's always free, right? That's the hook. That's what gets you into crypto, right?
And it's the easiest on-ramp. Yeah, it's the absolute easiest on-ramp for sure.
So because we have so many people in the community so large that love Minecraft, it's likely the metaverse will always have a Minecraft on-ramp, but it's an on-ramp, right? What the team has built is a platform that connects metaverse, because it's not that we are the metaverse, it's not that they are the metaverse or this is the metaverse, we are the metaverse. And so really we all are creating on-ramps to the metaverse. The metaverse ends up connected. The platforms that we're building very intentionally connect with one another, first through integrated pairs with our tokens, being able to go back and forth and allowing our users to go back and forth and experience both. But eventually, the tech progresses to the point where we can truly connect our platforms in a tech way. And with Minecraft, we still have NFTs that give you access to your position in the game. And so we are actually able to, even using a off-the-shelf package, we can actually provide ownership or access of a section of that game. And one of the things we're researching is how do we take it to that phase 2? How do we take it to the next level? How do we turn that build, that 3D build, into a voxel that you could actually take with you and transport to other platforms?
Out of curiosity, what other platforms would you like to see this? Is there anything that you're like? I don't know if you even want to speculate on that. I know that's like.
Oh, I'll say.
Okay, yeah, I'm curious. Like, what would you like to see the first integration be of this layer 2? Where do you want to see that road go from Minecraft Uplift to where?
Yeah. 2 answers. The first answer is all of them. We want to be connected to all of them, right? Second answer.
That's such a cheap answer.
It's so
you'll get 2. The first one was easy.
That's like asking Miss America, what do you want for whatever? She's like, world peace. It's like they always say
right?
World peace.
The real answer is, I believe that in community there is power. And rather than having corporations making business deals behind the scenes, what makes sense to me is for the ones doing the work to create, if they listen to the communities and give the communities what they want, the community is right. The community will say, we want this connection. I play here, I play there, I love you both, this is awesome. What if we could connect? What if I could take this NFT and go over here and use it over here? And what we actually saw was Our Planet and the Uplift demonstrated and exemplified really the first iteration of that, where you can take your Our Planet land NFT, change some mutable assets by buying a connection or a access to the Uplift. That NFT now gives you access to land that you own in the Uplift that you can walk into and build on. Oh, wow. That was just the first example.
How the hell did I not know about that? That is insanely epic.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Because, hey, I'll make you a deal. If you come take a tour of Shippletopia, I will give you an Our Planet NFT that gives you access both to that game and earns you rewards there, and access to the Uplift and earns you rewards there.
And that's a deal, because that's worth some money. It's several $100.
It's a lot, yeah.
Yeah, no.
So for another show, I'd love to give you a tour.
Oh, Charlie Q sent $5. Appreciate the super chat. Said, "Hi Jen, I love you."
We love Charlie.
Charlie Q, thank you so much for the super chat. And I actually love your profile picture there. He has like Cheshire Cat or something on his shoulder.
Shout out to Charlie.
And Charlie's an amazing member of the community. He's actually a perfect example of what I was just talking about, right? Because just an example, Immersus is one of the other games, one of the other new games that provides a lot of that same intentional experience, right? Where you get to go in, have community, earn NFTs, have this 3D world experience. What if, and we've been kind of teasing this in the channels, what if your NFTs from the Uplift could work in Immersus? What if your NFTs from the Immersus could work in the Uplift? Whether it could be integration. And then the question becomes, if it makes sense, if the community wants it, how? Right. The zeros and ones are not my forte. Thankfully, this industry is full of brilliant brain people who know the zeros and ones, right? And so once the community says we want this,
they don't have to work at McDonald's for $5.15 an hour anymore. Their time is free, and they can develop. And I feel like that's why we're seeing this leapfrog of innovation the past year because of lockdown and everything. And the developers are in a position now better than ever to not have to be distracted by the everyday world, and they can deep dive rabbit hole, head into the keyboard and just build the future. And it's happening rapidly right now. And I just wanted to say shout out to all the developers that really stuck it out, and all the artists too, because this is the year of developing is art. Like you're a keyboard artist. You know what I mean? How a chef is an artist, at least I think so. So this is the renaissance of all art, and it's amazing to see people actually have free time now to do what they love. And you just have, like you mentioned, these developers that can just build these amazing things for communities right now. Like, I don't know, this is just like such a perfect timing scenario, because like if anything wasn't where it's at right now in like the universe, it wouldn't work. But like it just feels like
Right.
everything's working just straight out of like meant to be.
Yeah. So when I first saw that movie Ready Player One, I saw it as being in the future. Now I see that it is being built around us right now.
Yeah.
And so to know that we get to live in that world and we actually get to participate and direct creating the world that we all want to live in, that's an incredible feeling of involvement and power. And knowing that if we gather together as a community and build together rather than competing against one another, we can build it better and quicker. I think what I'm seeing is this shift, right? Where, and I won't say any of the big name game companies, but when they start making statements like we need to come out from behind the walls of our garden and connect with one another, they get it. Like they're starting to get it, right? Even these, AAA, whatever games, they're starting to say, hey, if we connect with one another instead of competing against one another, everybody wins. That win-win-win culture that we like to follow in MBlue's footsteps there, it's starting to permeate. It's starting to change not just our crypto universe, not just our industry, but I think we get to help change the world in a positive way.
Yeah, I want to tokenize another term here and say cyclical winning.
Ooh, I like that.
Thank you. So Jennifer, I know you mentioned the race. When was the dates on this again, and how can people get involved in joining in the Shippletopia Uplift races and events to earn some shill?
All right. So number one, the race should be tomorrow in the evening. Time will be announced on the Shipple.io Telegram as soon as we have a time. We will be all over that, and it'll be all over the Twitter. So watch for that. If you want to get in the uplift, right now you either need to own a land NFT or know somebody who does, who's willing to whitelist you. There are lots of friendly people in the Shipple.io Telegram who might whitelist you. The only reason I'm hesitating with a might is because we are responsible for our guests and their behavior. So if you're not on your best behavior, don't ask me. That's quite simple. But just go buy some land. It's on the secondary market. Go get yourself a piece of land because you won't regret it. It's not only is it fun, but then you can go to Shippletopia whenever you want. You can only get to Shippletopia through Chicken Ka. So one of the worlds is Chicken Ka. Head over there. And there are a couple of gates for Shippletopia, and we've had the maps up on the Twitter. We can post them again in the Telegram. We may as well, because that's always a good place. And you can find your way to the gate to Shippletopia, and there will be a portal.
So you can't.
You have to
okay,
find.
I was gonna say you can't like walk around, but you have to go through Chickaka to get to the portal.
Yes.
Oh, I love that.
And the portals are not that close to spawn, so it is, plan a few minutes.
I love this
there are
because
two-
if people know how Uplift works, this is actually a great value added to the Chicago plot, because the more foot traffic you get, the better it is for landowners in the game. Like that's just, so the more value you can provide to your land to get more people to come to it for whatever the reason is, then the more value you're earning in a sense in that way. So like this is, I think, one of the first collaborative utilitarian opportunities in Uplift, right? Where it's like, hey, to get to my world, you have to walk through this world. So it's sort of like I don't know how to say, I guess the first strip mall kind of a thing, right? Like to get to my store, you kind of have to walk past one of my friend's stores, right? Like, that's
all
of
that.
This was built very intentionally to fund the Shipple charity, because we created Shippletopia. It's primarily owned. Most of that space is actually owned by the Shipple charity. It's an entity that our team is working to create. We'll have a nonprofit here soon. But the intention was to drive rewards, not just for the players. We definitely want to do that all throughout Chicken Con. So we wanted to make sure that the traffic is going across players' lands, benefits all the players in Chicken Ka, and then coming across the Shipple Charity's land. What that provides is an ongoing funding mechanism for the Shipple Charity to do real world good.
Greg in the chat, he sees where I'm coming from with the strip mall comparison. You know, when we're migrating to the metaverse, a lot of these analogies are gonna, you know, have to be made. And like how we say Bitcoin is digital gold, even though that's like the worst comparison, I feel like this is, in a sense, the first metaverse strip mall kind of way. Because like you said, it adds value to each, you know, community or each plot or each land, right? And I don't feel like there's anybody. I mean, some people in Decentraland may have done things like that, but not in like a way where like you have to walk through building A to get to building B. It's never like that's like a Matryoshka doll of like metaverse and
the
plots.
community aspect. Like you actually have to be cooperative.
So I think this is like the thing people need to keep in mind, because I know I see a lot of virtual real estate and virtual construction happening in the metaverse right now, especially in Uplift, where people are basically making 9-to-5 jobs, getting paid like cash in PayPal. Oh, I had to hop off. I'm sorry. But people get paid in cash in PayPal, like just to build in the metaverse. So like think about like the same types of like, you know, things real world construction workers use to add value to properties and businesses and things like that, and apply that to the metaverse when you're building, you know, for somebody. I don't know. It's blowing my mind to see like the structure, or like, you know, the algorithm around the metaverse being built. You know, like, oh, you have to go through Chika to get to Shippletopia. I feel like that's sort of like a snowball. Like that, whatever comes of this is just the beginning. It's such a snowball of an idea.
Well, and one of the things that we're seeing develop is partnerships between the communities and the players in the game through portals. Because the Uplift has something that they've introduced where you can actually, with your Liftium token that you earn in the game, you can actually buy a portal, which is a connection to another point. And one of the first iterations of this was all of the art galleries partnered together, and there's art galleries with NFTs for sale with a QR code scattered all throughout the Uplift, right? But they're scattered. And so what they did was they created this travel loop where there's a portal from one to the next, portal from that one to the next one, portal from that one to the next one, and they're actually driving traffic through a gallery tour where you walk into one and then you can connect to all. And that partnership is incredible. And it's really just the first iteration of that, because it's connections within communities within the Uplift. But what if, and again, I like to push the tech, and all the people actually having to do the work on the zeros and ones go, oh my gosh, are you serious? But what if that portal didn't just go to a location in the Uplift? What if you had a partnership with another metaverse platform, and you could go from your portal in the Uplift through a portal into your space in their game, and then have a portal to your space in the next game? And you own spaces in the metaverse. Owning land is one of the coolest things that you can do. What if you could portal between all of your owned lands in all of the platforms? You know, how close are we to that? Is it a year? Is it 5 years? I think less than 5. Maybe more than 1. But eventually,
it's a honey
when I was
pot.
talking with Dan, he said it would be challenging but not impossible.
It's a honeypot concept. There's so much money on the table. The incentive is huge for it, right? I mean, it's not just basement developers now. It's corporations are hiring for interoperability. You know, I think Fortnite and Call of Duty want to figure this out more than anybody, right? Like
probably,
right? Like they
what if you could have battles
figure this stuff out,
where it's Fortnite against Call of Duty in the same universe? Like, how crazy is that?
Why the hell not?
I know an 8-year-old would be very excited.
Bro, if I could just kick the shit out of somebody in Halo, like skin in Halo with Halo guns, that's a like I don't know. Yeah, that is to me like that's the inevitability of this, and I think it's already at that level of interest at the AAA mainstream gaming. But it always, all the experimentation has always come from, you know, the indie side of things, whether it's indie movies or indie gaming or indie music. It's always, innovation has always come from the indie side. It's no different. The difference kind of here is these indie assets are tokenized and are quite easily verified on a, you know, distributed ledger. So there is some value to be said there, you know, like that's why Pokemon cards have some value. Like they were one of like the first trading card games that took off, and why trading card games have value today. It's nostalgic homage value. Yeah. And I feel like
when you can play with it and then sell it for more than you bought it for, I mean, come on, that's crazy. Well, and what you were just saying, that flips tribalism on its head, right? Where instead of the tribes competing against one another, if they partner together to have a shared experience, it's twice as
could you
powerful.
imagine
And
if the Eagles only played against each other? Like if it was the Eagles offense versus the Eagles defense, and that's all it was?
Right.
No, like that's basically what we're seeing. Like until we get that interoperability of, oh, the Eagles are playing with the Cowboys at that stadium, and then they collab at their own stadium at home, and like. So anyway, that's how I see gaming in different metaverses. Is like these sports teams actually finally joining each other on the field.
So good.
It very much is. And whoever gets that interoperability developed first, so that I can literally go from a portal in my Minecraft metaverse to a portal in my, I don't know, Halo metaverse.
Alt space.
Whoever can do that will never have to worry about providing for themselves ever again as long as they live.
Because that's the game we all want to play.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I talk to a lot of people, and they're, pretty smart, have a lot of, like, they're big people, and they're like, so where's, like, the money for me in this? Obviously, it's not in buying fucking $5 NFTs, like, they're whales, or, I'm like, well, for you, I would recommend hiring developers and building a marketplace where people can buy, sell, and create things. That's where the money's at. Like, see Atomic Hub, what they're doing, do that, build that. And I think like what we're seeing with Uplift, like that's another thing. Like if you want to be relevant in the future, like do what Uplift is doing, and you need to create a tokenomics around your metaverse. And I see a lot of projects utilizing NFTs, but not utilizing tokens or currencies. And I wanted to touch on like where you thought about like the combination and the power that a project has, having not just non-fungible tokens, but also fungible tokens in the environment and in the tokenomics.
I would say that you really need both. If you want, if you have only one, then you have a very one-dimensional project. If you have both, and if you have a bunch of friends with benefits, because really that's where this is all going, you are going to be set for life.
That's what my tab's going to be on the website.
Everywhere.
Friends with benefits, and that's where you can use my coin.
Yes.
So
yes.
good.
That's so
So
good.
if I can take my Shipple and discover that there are actually places where I can spend it without having to trade it 20 times first, that's delightful. Absolutely delightful. I will give those people my business. I don't even care too much what kind of business it is. They get it.
Especially with the Yoshi drops, right? I have a few Yoshi NFTs, and I don't have to sell them to earn. Like the incentive to hold is provided by the reward of the token for holding it. So the more I don't sell it, the more I earn. So it's counterintuitive to buy and sell and flip and trade. It's more intuitive to buy, hold, and compound that into either taking that reward that's a token to get more of those NFTs, or like you said, finding those friends with benefits and maybe getting other NFTs that also have that utility of getting airdropped tokens. Are there some of these specific NFTs that I could hodl to get Shipple or Upliftium, so to speak? Because I know I'm earning Upliftium, but are there ways to earn Shipple? Or could we see like these Upliftium things potentially start earning me Shipple as well as Upliftium?
Soon.
You want to tell them about the scoreboard, or should I?
I think you should start.
Okay.
Yeah.
So on Bullshipples.io, we actually created scoreboards where people can go on and see where they're at on the monthly reward drop. And simply by owning NFTs and owning an amount, you actually receive rewards on a monthly basis. And we scoreboarded that because everybody likes to see their name on a scoreboard, right? And so that was the first iteration. And I want to talk a little bit about the Nifty Super Blender because, Ben, you mentioned FTs and NFTs. And what we've seen is a lot of categorization and a lot of individualization. Each game has this category that you use for one thing and this category that you use for another thing, and you blend the one to get the other. What Nifty created with the Super Blender is really the ability to take NFTs from any collection and treat them like FTs and blend them into a collaborative something else. And so what we can do, we have a couple of collections with Shipple. You have an awesome collection. What if we took some of our NFTs, some of your NFTs, blended them into a collab, third option, and then put that on a scoreboard? What we now have the ability to do is not get lost in the, well, is it an FT on Simple? Is it an NFT on Atomic? Where do I use it? What do I use it? What if you could just take anything you have, mash it all together, and use any of your assets for a multitude of purposes on any platform? That connection and that accessibility and additional option that the third-party tools are creating with the tech progression is incredible, where all of a sudden we get to do what nobody has ever imagined was possible before. That's what I'm excited about, is being able to present some of these game options that we've seen in silos and have them interconnected with every community to do all of that gamification, all of that, RNG, random variants, and do I get a common or a mythic? We can take all of that in connected community collaborations and provide it in a way that people have never experienced before. I'm pretty excited about it.
I'm excited about that. And I've seen it happening at the community level on a much smaller scale too. There was an event the same day Shippletopia opened, Art Vending Machine and Mitzi's NFTs, Mitzi's Nifties, got together. They collaborated on a fine art NFT. If you went to both the event at the Art Vending Machine and then did Mitzi's Quest, you ended up with NFTs to blend to get their collaborative one-off, but it was a collaborative one-off. You weren't at both events, you don't get in. So it can be used.
That's a good proof of attendance.
Right?
Use of proof of attendance right there.
It sure is. And so
For our events,
you're seeing the whole proof of attendance thing. Well, let's take that a step further. I go to the Rave Cave on Friday, hang out at the Rave Cave, listen to some nasty hooks, have a good time. I punched that sign. I fill out for now I'm filling out a form on a website. There's an extra step. That'll be handled soon so that there won't be that extra step. And my punch sign counts me for some multi-chain crypto rewards.
Okay.
I mean, because we have Shipple on Wax, we have Shipple on BSC, Shipple on Tron coming soon. I mean, Shipple on Poly, because I heard there's a rocket going that way soon.
In theory, I could send some Ken your way, and you could also add Ken to that pile of coins people get.
So we have 4 stages. Would you like to come and host one of the stages with a DJ, have a sign on your stage so that the players entering can not only tune into your live show, but punch that sign and get some of your NFTs and some of your token?
I do know a DJ actually that
might
be down for this. Because if he actually there are 2 DJs that might be down for this, and this is tomorrow, you said, right?
Friday. This one's Friday, and
we
have now we'd be down to 1 spare stage. So hey, it's filling up fast.
Let's tell him about the leverage.
Every once in a while, he's watching and being quiet. So David, are you watching? I'm gonna DM you. You should. There you go. You should be my DJ.
So Ken, have you seen, Ready Player One, that dance club, that anti-gravity dance club that they walk into and they jump off the ledge and, fall and they're flying through the air and they're dancing in the air and then they do that old school dance on the, on the colored glass.
Oh, yeah,
We actually built that. That is the Rave Cave. And so you get to come in and have that Ready Player One anti-grav flying experience. And instead of just 1 stage for 1 DJ, what we did is we actually put 4 stages and 4 DJ booths because we have another belief. We believe that if we can leverage the power of shared audience, we end up with exponential visibility that drives traffic for anyone involved. Do you remember that garage band that your friend started and they finally got their big break and they had a show downtown, right? And so
you get
friend. We all have that friend, right? Yeah. We all have that friend. But you remember when you show up at the show and it's actually 3 clubs in this dingy part of town right next to each other and your friend has 11 people showing up to his show and the one next door has 20 people showing up to their show and then the third one has all the people and they have like 50 people showing up to their show? What if the show was all in the same location? And instead of 10 at one, 20 at the next, and 40 at the next, what if all 100 were in the same space with 4 different stages playing at the same time? In the real world, a bit of a noise issue, right? But in crypto space, you can just have 4 different live streams going out or proximity audio coming soon. And the audience can turn from stage to stage to stage and be exposed to all of this new, where they came to see the one. Now they get to hear the other. They get the rewards from the one, the rewards from the second, the rewards from the third. All of a sudden, they're a collector and a fan, not just of the one they came to see, but of the other two that they didn't even know existed before, right? Being able to leverage that power of shared audience, being able to connect where that one garage band that had 11 fans all of a sudden now has 100 from that one event.
I don't want to say it's the same because Travis Scott is no garage band musician, but Fortnite did host a concert where, in a sense, it exposed him to a large audience of players that didn't really know who Travis Scott was, and then did because of that concert. And Marshmello, I think even Post Malone recently did like a in-game concert for, I think, Pokemon or something. Like, so even to just go to that concert, you had to be in the game, and that was, I think, just the start of where they're at. But that's where things are going. Obviously, we're already starting to see these collaborative efforts. I think it, like you said, it starts with these multiple experiences. Like you have like multiple, like I have 5 monitors right now in front of me. And I guess like an old comparison would be like going to your brother's wedding and watching the Super Bowl on your cell phone. Like you're multitasking. You can experience these 2 experiences at one time. So you could be in the metaverse and be at 4 different concerts at once. It's going to be way more common than not because of the abilities that the metaverses provide that the physical real world don't. And there's cool like things I've been to, like these silent discos or whatever, where you wear like headphones. And there's 4 different audio channels. You can walk into room 1, 2, 3, or 4, and you click, and then you tune into the same music as everybody around you.
We can do that. That's what we're doing in the Rave Cave. So that's exactly it.
It's a virtual silent disco.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly right.
That is exactly it.
I have to get you introduced to Tom and Gary over at the Decentralized Dance Party through Kyle Kemper. They do a DDP. Nice. I don't know if you've heard of it, but if you have, get the time to check it out on YouTube. It's Decentralized Dance Party. And I've been all around the world, different countries, like 4 different countries. And basically they just take over an entire city and dance throughout the streets. And I feel like, they could do this throughout the entire Uplift world, dancing throughout like a giant Congo party.
So good. Yeah, I want to shout out to the Nasty Hooks. The Nasty Hooks have done so much for us. Anytime we've needed a custom beat for one of our NFTs, we just call them up, and they're so great. They've been so helpful to us, and they actually do live shows all the time. And so they're actually coming in to DJ the first live event Friday night.
That's awesome.
It's going to be so good. And what we're trying to demonstrate is what's possible, because we would never want to be the only one doing this. We want to just show what's possible, and then we want to see this happen throughout the metaverse. And the metaverse isn't just Shippletopia, not just Chicken Caw, not just the Uplift. The metaverse is all of us, what we're all building. But being able to connect and leverage the power of shared audience, the Nasty Hooks are going to come in, be the first DJ, but we have the 4 stages built already. And if we have to build a 5th and a 6th, we can do that. But we want to not only have multi-chain rewards, because we're going to have Wax-based rewards, BSC-based rewards, and Tron-based rewards at our first event. You can walk in and receive multi-chain rewards, have links to download any wallet that you don't have. So we're going to have cross-chain visibility, helping people go cross-chain. And we're going to have the opportunity with multiple stages to have people experiencing multiple creative artists and musicians, showcasing and exemplifying what's possible. We want to see this take off throughout the metaverse. And I think as soon as people see what's possible, they iterate and take it one step further. And then we get to look over and see what they're doing. And then we get to reiterate, right? And what that does is that helps us all move forward, where we're flying through the Minecraft experience in Ready Player One. And like that, we're at layer 2 and then level 3. And I can't wait to be in the metaverse, pull up my map and say, hey, buddy, which world are you on? Like Parsival did to H, right? And he says, oh, I'm over on this world doing that other thing. You jump through a portal and you're there. Like, how soon do we get to do that? Is it tomorrow?
I hope so.
It took a
It's
while to
Friday.
get like
It's-
email
it's soon.
interoperability. You know what I mean? Like in order to get email, you needed to have the same email account as the person sending it, right? Like, and it took a while for like AOL to like be able to receive from Yahoo. You know, like it was so annoying just for like email interoperability. But now it's native and kind of expected at this point. And I feel like you're right. Like playing, Call of Duty and not being able to go to like a Halo map seems kind of ridiculous
Right.
and archaic. Like, why isn't this
You
here already?
Do you remember the bulletin boards? And I don't know, I may be showing my age here. But do you remember when it was just BBSs and you with dial-up 56K baud or 28, and you actually had to dial into a phone number to get to somebody's private server, and you'd play the text-based game on that one, and then you had to dial into the next one to play the text-based game on that one. And then the internet was amazing, and it connected all the bulletin boards, right? What we're seeing now, I think, is the tech progression, just like we saw there, where right now all these metaverse games are just their own bulletin boards. And when we can connect them, all of a sudden, the internet exists. And the metaverse is the 3D internet that you get to walk through. I think that's the tech progression that we get to experience here in the very near future. And that is mind-blowing to me. I'm pretty excited.
The Digital Asset, thank you so much for the memberships. I really appreciate it. Yeah, I said, when portal to Shippletopia at spawn? That wouldn't make much sense because you have to walk in and through Chaka in order to get to Shippletopia. So it wouldn't make sense to have a spawn point in Shippletopia. Maybe right out front of Chaka would be like the best bet though, but...
And you get it. You get it. And it was actually difficult to convince the devs that we didn't, in our game, you can actually just type /server and go to a place, right? And technically Shippletopia is its own world. Technically it is on its own server. But the reason we put it in Chicken Caw was to drive traffic. And so we asked the devs, please don't put an easy link where people can just immediately go there. We want to not force, we don't want to force anybody to anything, but we want to help people walk across and traffic the rest of the world that we're intentionally living in.
It's a proof of concept, great proof of concept, and it's almost like holding hands to everybody who owns their own land, like my own. So now I have my own land. If I want to incentivize people to come to it and fall into my traps and die and give me all their loot, because I'm going to be putting traps all over my land and murdering people because you can't get out if you fall in a hole because you can't break a brick. So you fall in a hole and die. Ha ha.
Nemesis.
I'm just warning people. But I could put a portal in
that
my
win-win-win.
That if you
is that win-win-win? I don't know.
No,
You could put a portal at the bottom of one of your pits, though.
Oh, that's true.
what I'm
That's
saying.
good.
So like you might be able to find, instead of like my trap card, you might be able to find like a warp zone like in Mario to like a land where I put all the stuff I have stolen from people into like a giant dragon's den gold pile.
You're describing Nemesis.
It becomes win-win-win,
That is good.
right?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Well, and that's the thing, is it has to be that win-win-win where everybody wins. Like, yes, I love what you just described. I want to go there and lose all my stuff if I know it's going to go into a pool. Yeah.
The idea though behind it though, I'm thinking now Disney too. Like when we were in Disney World a couple of years ago, we got there the day the frickin' Millennium Falcon opened. So we didn't know if it was going to be open. We were asking some questions and they're like, oh yeah, it just opened. I'm like, sweet. It was a month ahead of schedule. So, no expectations. We went to hang out in line and the line was very long, 2 small kids, right? Like it's not an ideal situation. That line was entertaining. We were not bored. We were entertained. They built an amusing line. It was immersive. Everything was in that world. So that's an opportunity for everyone who owns the rail and the land in Chicken Caw along the path to the Shippletopia gates. What do you want people to experience? Is it going to be boring rail? Is it going to be something interesting? Are you going to have a portal or a punch sign or a shop on your plot? What about a gift shop?
What about a billboard that just says buy my shitcoin Ken token, brobros420.com, and who owns a rail plot?
I'm putting that up.
I can put up a picture for you. And yeah, we've
do
got
it.
rail plots, so
Yeah.
you know.
Oh, I love it.
I feel like
Grant my
billboards
space.
are going to be some of the easiest ways
Oh,
for people to
huge.
monetize
Yeah.
their rail plots
Mhm.
in Uplift.
Definitely.
I would say reach out to, like, I've even kind of done this, and I know, like, they're not really super interested over at Splinterlands, but I'm eventually going to get them to pay me to just put a giant Splinterlands billboard up in my land in Uplift. And, like, I
Yeah.
think people should definitely, if you have a rail plot, you should definitely be reaching out to, like, projects that you like and just say, hey, can I get, like, some of your assets or shitcoin, and I'll put, like, a billboard up on my plot and explain to them why it has some value. And it's sort of like explaining why a billboard on a highway has value, right? Like, there is
Mhm.
value to it.
Oh yeah.
You just have to go out and, monetize it.
Well, and take it one step further and put on your billboard, punch this sign, get some of their whatever shitcoin,
Mhm.
and people will jump off the rail, they'll go punch the sign, and then get back on the rail and keep going. Takes 10 seconds out of your life.
Well, and Jen, what you were hinting at is the attraction factor, right? Because,
Mhm.
for instance, in Shippletopia, there's 3 different portals, and there's
Yeah.
multiple paths that you can get. We want people to wander through the world. It isn't just one path. There's multiple paths into Shippletopia with 3 different portals. And so what could you do to incentivize people to take your path instead of the other one? How cool
Exactly.
could you make your entrance to Disneyland? We talk about, Shippletopia is kind of the Vegas Disneyland, and then Greg says, no, it's Disney World because Disney World's better. But that entrance, like the ride in, is a huge part of the experience.
Yeah.
And
It is.
people
It
have
is.
control over the ride in because we have very intentionally placed within a world to drive people through it. People have control over those paths in. What are you going to build there to incentivize people to turn right instead of left to get to where they're going?
Yep. What's the experience? What's the draw? Are you going to build an art gallery? Are you going to
I'll
have a
give
punch
you
sign?
half of everything I've earned from you walking on my land. I'll give back.
Ooh.
So that's some of the just off the top of my head, that's some
Yeah.
of the easiest ways to incentivize you
Right.
to turn left rather than right is
Right.
I'll give back. You'll actually earn from making that left turn rather than making the right turn.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, and
I
with
agree
crypto
that.
connected with the game, the Uplift actually is able to track every step that somebody takes in the metaverse, right? And so that's the secret sauce,
Man,
is
that's
that
some
ability.
Big Brother bullshit, bro. This sounds like China.
It is,
Right.
but it's better because you get rewards and everybody's.
Oh, so a social credit score.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, an
If I go over
activity-based
your-
score,
If
right?
I go over your land and I don't pour lava on it, I get bonus points. I get some crypto. If I pour
What
the
you're
lava
saying,
on
Ken,
it,
is-
China
I
should be
get
looking
locked
at
out
this
forever.
as like their
Right.
yeah.
Yeah.
What you're saying, Ken, if you want to give half of what you've received to the people that walk across their land, how will you do that? What's cool, the secret sauce, is that because that's tracked and because that information can be provided to whoever owns the plot, right now, what's being set up is punch sign get thing, where the
Mhm.
player has to intentionally interact with something on your plot to record it to the blockchain. In addition to it just being tracked by the in-game mechanism that is the reward system, because there's rewards coming out from the Uplift all the time. But what if the player who owns the plot also wants to contribute to that rewards specifically for the activity on that plot? That tech is being built out. And the first iteration is punch sign, but eventually you could get a heat map, you could get a total traffic, you could end up with a daily or monthly record, maybe that you paid for, and because it takes dev time to do that, right? Maybe you pay a fee to get all the info for your plot so that you can actually personally incentivize, as a landowner, incentivize the people that have visited you. That tech, it's in the very near future. Like, that's the world that we get to live in here very quickly, and not just for the Uplift, right? It's for every metaverse, the we that connects with this vision and sees what's possible, because the one platform looks at the other and says, oh, we could do that. They do it a little bit better. And then that platform looks back and says, oh, that's a good evolve. Let's take it a next step further. And there's this exponential tech development that we're seeing happen right now. It's the snowball effect of iteration.
And
an
Jen,
easy-
oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, it's okay. This is just a fun one. An easy next step for the punch sign. If you want to take it up a notch, you can snowballs hitting signs counts as a punch sign. So you've got people going by your rail plot, put something up in the middle with different crypto rewards, say 5 Shipple, 10 Shipple, 20 Ken, whatever you want, but you have to hit it with a snowball as you're going by on the rail cart.
It
Okay.
gamifies the experience.
Yeah,
It's like
Gamify
a
it.
drive-by dunk tank. I like it.
exactly.
I hear that's how they do
Okay.
drive-bys in Alaska. They just drive by, throw a snowball, and out on their like Husky's sled. What I was going to mention though, Jen, is the Shippletopia is its own world. It's a portal to
Yes.
its own world, and I think isn't that the same as like Mr. Beast has his own server, his own world, and there's other streamers like that that have like their Minecraft servers, which are their own little worlds. Is there a way to have a portal from like my plot in Uplift to like Mr. Beast's world and have these Minecrafts connected?
Kind of.
Soon.
If all your servers speak the same language, then yes.
What's that mean exactly? Speak the same language? Is it
Uh,
Minecraft?
It's a little bit more than that because they all already speak Minecraft. It's a dialect of Minecraft. Do I speak the same language as the bouncer at your nightclub? I don't know. Let's find out.
Because it's so customizable, and with all the mods and the ways that you can set up the server, the ways that you can set up the world with different rules, the rules have to match, right?
Yes.
And not just for the gameplay experience, also for the security end, because it's a computer program that can be modded and hacked and exploited. And so to make sure that everybody that owns a section that is granting them not only access and permission, but security for their land and what they've built.
So that makes sense. So I can't just go to a world that has like, creator mode turned on where I can just spam diamonds and then go to a world that doesn't, where people actually have to earn diamonds and kind of affect that market. I did have a question along the similar line from Morton Matt D in the chat who said, how do you limit abuse of hitting the sign or snowballing the sign so people don't get like, just run in a circle and just keep hitting it every second?
Oh, that's
the cool
easy.
thing is,
It only counts
Go
once.
ahead, Jeff. Yeah.
It
So blockchain is forever. You get the data. The good news is with a CSV dump, you can filter data.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. So then it only counts once.
Yeah, and what that creates is a two-layer process, right? Where it isn't just an automatic reward every time you hit the sign. It sends data to a database, and then the actual reward action takes the data from that database based on the filters, and then rewards in a prescribed way. Most of that starts manual, and then the automated systems we're actually building now. We're testing the data. Seeing, because hacks and exploits and how do I game the system, that's a normal part of cryptosphere, right? I mean, it's not wrong, it's not bad, it's just the way it works, right? It's what helps us learn. And so in watching the data, in watching these experiments that happen, what they teach us is how to build those systems. And so we actually had a break the server test event where we encouraged people to come in and try and break this, and it was successful. There was lots of things that were discovered, and then the Uplift was able to learn from that and go, okay, this is a way that things can get blown up. This is a way that things can be destroyed. And then you evolve and you iterate and you fix it, because one of the most important things is if somebody buys a land NFT that grants them access and permission and protection for what they own, you have to make sure that that's protected.
Yeah, but sometimes there's acts of God.
Yeah.
I think we can call them acts of code.
Right? Oh, acts of code. I like that.
I like coming up with new words. It's my favorite hobby. I'm the only one who uses them though, but digital asset, thanks again. I see in the chat really spitballing ideas here, and on top of what you said in the chat, it would be cool like how Nifty Wizards, if you wanted to use like a fireball in a battle, you have to own the NFT. Would be pretty cool if you wanted to have the ability to throw a snowball, you'd have to own like the snowball NFT in Uplift. Otherwise you can't make snowballs, right? And or like sprinting. How do you unlock sprinting? Well, like you need to get running shoes or whatever to unlock sprinting. So you need the running shoes NFT or so. I don't know. It's just like I feel like that level of like I don't want to say control, but like unlockability and like it's like LARPing to me. It's like You know,
Mm-hmm.
the
It's
more
choose your own adventure.
right, and the more things that you can tokenize, why not? Right? Why not tokenize
Yeah.
the snowball, and why not unlock, running with an NFT? If you can like lock up land, why not be able to lock up the pickaxe? You can't even pickaxe on your own land unless you have a pickaxe NFT that gives you the ability to use a pickaxe in the game. And these are all ways for the game
Genius.
to earn value and have capital for the game to build out, as well as cool toys for the community to play with.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
So I think that's another like win-win-win. And I know the digital adject, that's what I meant. No, I totally get you, bro. It was a lot of words. I tried to sum up a little differently because reading isn't my strongest sport. And shout out to Kenny Doll. If you don't have an augmented reality, virtual reality NFT action figure, you can pick one up for $1. They're kennydoll.com. Have you guys seen what we're doing with Kenny Doll and the Dutchie stuff? Because I know Dutchie and Kenny have some billboards and art in Uplift hanging up. I don't know if you've come across it.
Haven't
Oh,
seen it
dude,
yet.
it's so cool. It's so cool. Well, and the skate park and like the huge like Spliffy and Dutchie statues that they've built over there. And then
The shrines, you mean?
really, dude, it's so good. It's so good.
He said Ken AR blend with the Ken token. So you're going to need Ken token for an AR blend coming Waxoween. So that's another community effort right there to provide value to Ken, because the digital asset, my bro, is going to be doing a Kenny AR blend, and you're going to need Ken token in order to get in on the Waxoween event. So badass, bro. I really appreciate all that you do for the Kenny doll. I fucking love it. I don't know. I feel like we definitely need to get like more action figures involved, and it's just awesome that like we have some of the first. Just saying, we beat
Pretty
GI
cool.
Joe to the virtual punch. He said Pump Ken outfit. Oh, that's gonna be it. Pump Ken outfit. If you want to get the Kenny doll dressed up. So yeah, if you're sick of looking at my pea stained underwear, you can dress me up.
So
I love
when
it
can
so
I
much.
bring the Kenny doll into the metaverse as an NFT?
So somebody
Boy.
made me a skin, and I don't know how this all works. I think it was my bro 3D Douglas. Somebody sent me
Oh, nice.
an NFT of an Minecraft skin for Uplift, I believe. I don't know if it works or not. I didn't really get
Nice.
a chance to check out the utility, but it was like a Minecraft skin that looks just like my lazy lion that I bought. So
Oh, nice.
is it possible to get like a skin made for Minecraft that looks like my Kenny doll and make NFTs? So if people buy that NFT, they could wear that skin in Uplift in Minecraft.
Yeah, that's
I
possible
think
now.
that should absolutely be a thing.
Yeah, with Minecraft skins, it just clothes your character to look like whatever that skin is, and it's just a digital file. And so in buying the NFT, if they received that digital file, they can just put it in their Minecraft account, set that as their skin, and they will look like that in the game.
You hear that?
Yep.
Yo, Acid, we should probably set up a way to do like a Kenny skin. See everybody running around in their whitey tighties.
Well, and it takes that generative art to the next level, right? Where you can literally dress yourself as that. So it's not just the NFT that you've bought that whatever, you can actually look like that. Being able to have a Minecraft skin right now, like people can do that right now.
Yeah, I want to take it one step farther and be able to design the way I see you, without like you know what I mean? Like, yeah, you want to wear this skin, but I don't want to see that. So I want to see you wearing this outfit when I look at you.
Ooh, it sounds a little kinky. I kind of like it.
It could go that far, unfortunately. It really.
Yeah, thankfully PG-13 is our level for the Uplift in the Minecraft world, so that keeps it safe for our kids. But that can iterate in all the games that are all the
there's
letters.
no bar. There's no bar in the Uplift.
They
lots of
only
juice
serve
bars.
Non-alcoholic juice.
Yeah, juice
Well,
bars.
potions.
Potions.
Yeah.
Wait, don't potions get you all messed up in Minecraft though?
They totally do.
Okay.
They totally
Yeah.
do. Yeah, no,
Yeah, I mean,
it's a bring your own.
There's weed stores, right? That's still hey,
Yeah, that one's a
David,
gray
David
area.
in the chat. That's what made me think about that. Actually, was the Dream skin. Like, if that dude Dream could just comprehend NFTs for a second and take that skin of his from Minecraft and make an NFT out of it, and anybody that buys it for $1 can wear the Dream skin in Minecraft, like in his server. Oh, dude, This is why I'm doing, and this is, I'm sure, why a lot of us are doing what we do, is just to encourage, motivate, and incentivize others to do it too.
Yep.
And that could be a use case for some fine art inspired Minecraft skins
Oh,
for,
that would be
all
cool.
those artists I know who are probably curious how to make that work.
Yeah, I mean, that
Yeah.
would be sick to see like some of the art that I can get,
Yeah.
like, from the Uplift art or Yoshi art or whatever. All
Yeah.
this different, just the art in general, and then rock it on like a T-shirt in Uplift.
Yeah. The tools
Yeah.
exist. You can custom create your own skin right now. Like you can
Yeah.
go be an artist and create a skin as art. It's possible right now. So for all the creators out there who are looking for something to create to be able to monetize your artistic ability, start making some Minecraft skins.
You could be a Habidash in the metaverse. You could be the first metaverse Habidasher.
My
Ooh,
my
I
money
like it.
is on Joe Chapetta. I think he'll do it first. He already has the skin. It's clearly one that he made. It's his art style. He knows how to do the NFT thing.
Yeah, so
I'm watching, I'm waiting.
You could have like Abercrombie and Mint or something. Instead of Abercrombie and Finch, it could be Abercrombie and Mint. It could be a fashion line in the metaverse.
Well, and one of the things we tried to do in Shippletopia is, again, inspired by Ready Player One, is they take every pop culture reference that exists ever, right? And just mash it up into that same space. And so, like the race, you start in Ready Player One, and then you're going through Wario's gold mine, and then you're on Rainbow Road, and then you're flying through the Mario airship and Peach's castle, and then you're flying through the Rave Cave again from Ready Player One, and then you're falling through the Spaceman X car, and then we say, "Hey, Elon, we found your car," and then you get to land on the finish line, right? You get to punch the button, you get to turn on the trophy. That data records to the chain, and we get to see who completed the race, and we get to send you rewards. The crypto space, combining with the game space, allows so much opportunity for additional player engagement and reward. What we are now able to do and what we're about to be able to do is incredible.
I'm excited for it. I know the chat's ready for it. All right, so I guess we could wrap things up here with like final thoughts along the lines of, what are you? I'll do a good news, bad news. What are you most worried about when it comes to getting to what you would consider the finish line, and what are you most excited to see after you cross that finish line?
Jen, you want to start?
Sure. In terms of worries of getting to the finish line, it would actually be defining the finish line. Because everything is exploding all over the place exponentially, that finish line is messy. I don't know what it looks like. When are we done? Are we done? Is there a time to say, I'm not done, but I'm going to be done? I don't know. I don't know what that looks like. This could quite easily go on forever. And it probably will, and that's wonderful. But then as a person with a life and stuff, I have to define what finished looks like. So that would be my only concern, really. And then what am I most excited about? Absolutely everything that we've talked about, and taking all of those things and figuring out how to add the gamified generosity to it to split off a chunk of it and give it away to people, organizations that need it.
Okay. I dig
and
it.
would put it to good use. To say, hey,
Like
I'm
it.
having all this fun over here, and oh yeah, look, there's this money that we made out of, I don't even know how we did it, but here you go, go do something good with it. I love that.
I like that a lot.
Same question. What am I afraid of and what's a success? I'm most worried about people missing out because the future is happening very, very quickly. And we have a lot of OG supporters that have been part of our community for years. And we have been yelling very loudly, there is something happening that you should get in on. Please join us because what is happening now is not only what we've dreamed of and what we've imagined of, but it's beyond our imaginations. And people missing out because things move so quickly. If people wait a week or a month, they miss out on a lot of that early adopter reward, because the future happens regardless of whether or not we're involved, right? In February, Corey's trying to get me into NFTs, and I told him, I said, no, NFTs are stupid. Why would anybody do that? I don't get it. I just don't get it. 2 weeks later, I was whaling into every NFT that could exist, because what I quickly realized is my erroneous opinion was irrelevant. It didn't matter what I thought. NFTs existed, and it's freaking awesome. And as soon as I realized that and jumped in, my life has changed, right? And so I'm most worried about our community missing out, because if they wait a week or they wait a month, or forbid they wait a year, they just miss out on that early adopter advantage. And eventually, everyone still, the adoption curve eventually consumes everyone, but it's better if you're early. And so what is successful to me is when our community, who has been saying, what if, and I wish, and if only, as soon as the what if and the I wish and the if only becomes true, and everything they've asked for exists and more, that is the success that we are very, very close to.
I've seen a lot of projects go that route, and I just want to let the OGs know, try to practice some diamond hands. It does take time, for projects sometimes, but I think my favorite, example of that is Splinterlands. For years, it wasn't what it was, saying it was going to be, and it was a lot of what ifs and whens, and now it's at a point where, people are wishing they didn't miss out, right? And I can see that exact, thing happening for the Uplift as well. It doesn't cost much to be an early adopter, except your patience, really. So just try to get involved and have your, diamond hands, and be patient with these projects. I've seen the value of my plots go up, and my rail plots, and I'm still holding. I don't, see any interest personally in liquidating my NFTs in the next 2 years at least. I feel like this is still very early for NFT values. So, to be a part of anything right now is to almost be buying an artifact. Like looking 1,000 years from now, you may not be around, but your great-great-great-grandchildren will be. And if you can pass down these keys throughout your family, that's the difference between being rich and being wealthy. Is you're rich, but that doesn't mean your immediate family is taken care of. But when you're wealthy, that means your immediate family is rich, right? They're taken care of. And you can do this with these assets, thinking into the future, right? If you knew now what then with Pokemon cards, we'd all still have Charizards, right? And take that life lesson into consideration now. For your great-great-great-grandkids, these assets are artifacts, historical artifacts that museums would love to have on display, and they might not even ever have to sell their Uplift NFT. A museum might give them money on a DAO just to have access to it, right? So I'm just saying, think long-term on this, not next year, but next millennia type shit, because this is paradigm shifting for all of humanity, and just like the internet, except you can't own shares of HTML or Java. With Bitcoin, Ethereum, Wax, EOS, these currencies, you can own technically some of these codes. It's pretty crazy shit. I really appreciate both of your time. I'm excited to jump in. I think tomorrow you said is the race, but Friday is the rave, right?
Yes.
And
we will be announcing times in the Shipple.io Telegram, so watch that space. It'll also be on the Twitter.
And those are weekly events. So really this first one is a test the server event. We're going to make sure everything works, because we just ported over the server to a new thing. Really, the first 8 people on the track doing that Mario Kart experience with, all throughout Ready Player One and Wario's Gold Mine and Rainbow Road, we're going to find broken spots on the track, I'm sure. So that first race will be kind of fun. But then what we're doing is we're iterating and we're evolving and we're building. And every week you're going to have the opportunity to come in and race. We're going to do tournaments. It'll be on the scoreboard. You're going to get NFT prizes. You're going to get crypto prizes. I'll just give a shout out. I have a friggin' buttload of Ken token, and I'm super excited that I'm earning huge amounts on Blue DAC, like huge, friggin' huge amounts. So what I have now is the ability to give away some Ken token and to give away some Blue and to give away some Shipple, because I earned rewards and my wallet has more zeros than I need. Now I get to give something away, right? That's what we want for every member of our community. And so we won't be able to set it up for tomorrow. But by next week, Ken, we'll be able to have a Ken reward where we'll do a tournament style, and the winner of the race will be able to not only receive some Shipple and some Blue and some Lithium and some Beats coin on Tron and some Shipple on BSC, but we can get them some Ken token for winning the race next week.
That's a whole basket of shitcoins. That's so amazing. Like
Yes.
that's a multi-chain basket too.
Toilet.
Well,
They're
I mean,
shitcoins. It's a toilet.
It's
the
a
reason we
toilet.
want to
Yeah,
go
I fucking
multi-chain.
love that.
The reason we want to go multi-chain with our rewards is because, spoiler, Blue DAC is going multi-chain. And so there's a reason that we have tokens on BSC. There's a reason we have tokens on Poly. There's a reason we have tokens on EOS. There's a reason we have tokens on Tron. There's a reason we're going to have tokens on ETH. Because what if Blue DAC, the DeFi system, started on Wax, but then was connected to every other friggin' chain soon?
Yes, please
And-
bring them all to Wax. That's what I'm hearing. I'm hearing that we're going to kidnap all these other shitcoin communities and bring them to Wax. That's what I'm hearing.
Well, and that's flipping tribalism on its head, right? Because it's no longer us against them if we're connected to them.
Right.
Where there's value to both, for both to be on both. And the both is times X, right? It's not just this and that, it's this and everything. It's pretty fun.
Yeah, it is. I love the memberships, the gamification of the staking models and everything. I feel like it's the future of GameFi. DeFi, like what we've started to see with like Uniswap and things like that, were just the beginning. But like Blue DAC's obviously next level when it comes to like gamified finite DeFi. Like I love that NFTs are included and FTs as well. All right, so let's wrap it up here. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Morton, Matt D in the chat. Thank you, David, the digital asset. Good times with Mello says he Ken is a Pokemon. I guess I am a Brokemon though. If I was, I'd be Mr. Mime for sure. It's my favorite.
Shout out to Mello. Yeah, he's making some art for us. You're actually going to see his art on some of our Shippletopia NFTs soon. Like, Mello's a rock star, man.
Yeah, he's amazing. I love you, Josh. Charlie Q in the chat. Thanks again for the super chats and tuning in. Greg, I love you, man. Appreciate all the help. I'm going to have you hold my hand again and uplift, get me used to it. Red Panda in the chat. Thanks for tuning in. Cat Fresh, how goes it? Thank you. Let's see. There's so many of you guys. Jason, thanks for tuning in. TC, I love you, bro. Thanks for tuning in. D and B, as always, much appreciate you. And everybody else I may have missed, I'm sorry. I love you guys. And check out the uplift. You can join Shipple.io for the Telegram, so you can get the information on the events tomorrow and Friday. They are weekly events, so if you want to play video games and earn shitcoins, I highly recommend you get involved in this immediately. Otherwise, you're just going to probably play Clash of Clans, waste a bunch of PayPal money, and then wish you, didn't do all that. So, as always, bros, have a day.
Yes. Everybody, okay, call it. Yep. I know. Hey, I gotta talk to you about something. Right now. Look at this. Tokens. So you're going to get your NFTs, right? You gotta get your NFTs. Get your NFTs. Okay, now listen. So you got your token. You got your phone device here. Where's your NFTs? What is this? I gotta talk to you about this. It's called the Kin token. You need to get the Kin token, folks. Kin token. NFTs, right? 3 hours each, folks. Kin tokens. Well, howdy, folks. Me and my little buddy here don't want y'all to get caught up in the rat race. So you're gonna get your Kin tokens early. You're gonna wait for that airdrop until the membership sells out. Now you could take that to the bank. You could take that to the decentralized blockchain technologies, buddy.
Alrighty there, okay.
It's the freaking Kin token, folks. Get the Kin token. It's the Kin token, folks. Kin token. Get the Kin token, folks! You need to get the Ken token. Get the Ken token before it's too late. It's like he's like I get it, like Ken's token. He's like Ken, because he's like token. Ken's token.